Because one thing about the tolls is, baby, they add up. What is the apartment name? What is the apartment name? What is the apartment name? You do not want to live there. Them speakers is not worth you paying $3,000 plus a month. Hey y'all, it's been a minute since my last video. I just looked. 7 months. 7 months. If you guys don't know who I am, my name's Asia. This is Life with Slim. Content about everything. Girl talk, vlogs, lifestyle, fashion, everything your little heart desires. Make sure you hit that like and follow button so you are staying up to date on content and you will not miss a post. Today we're talking all things Dallas. As y'all know, I was living in Dallas for a year and I'm gonna spill the tea, let the girls know is it worth it, my overall experience, and I'm going to spill the tea on my apartment name because the people have been asking on TikTok, on Instagram. Everyone has been asking, what is the apartment name? What is the apartment name? What is the apartment name? And I'm finally gonna give it to you because I'm no longer there, but we'll get to that part when we get to that part. Everyone really wants to know my overall experience living in Dallas, being in Dallas, especially from a northerner perspective because I am from New York, and it's just a whole different vibe. Like if you're not from the South, I would say it's kind of a culture shock a little bit, you know, just because of the accents and the people and just the way everything is spread out. That's the one thing I want to hit on. Like if you're from the North, you know, like New York, Connecticut, all that stuff, like there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of green. When you get down South, there's barely any trees, there's barely any green. All you see is roadways, lots and lots and lots of roadways, lots of interstates. I'm used to I'm not used to huge interstates. 5, 6 lanes, baby. Give me a 3-laner. Give me a 3-laner. It's so much bigger, there's so much more space, and it takes longer to get places. Kind of jumping around. Let me go back to my first point. The environment. It's not a lot of green. When you're just driving up north, you see a lot of trees, a lot of greenery on the parkway, highway, whatever you call it. I call it a parkway. When you get down south, it's not a lot of green. It's a lot of big bullet billboards, a lot of big signs. Like it's very just, oh, so there's no trees out here. And I'm not really a nature person, but I love just like looking at colors and just like, there's not much colors down south. It's just big flags, big Texas flags. Big Texas girl. Big Texas flags, big USA flags, big bulletin boards, big McDonald's sign coming up on your exit. It's just different. The way it looks down south is so much more different than north. But of course it's different because like the weather and all that stuff. That was one thing I had to get used to because like I said, I like looking outside and seeing the trees and, you know, seeing houses. You'll be in Dallas driving on a highway and you won't see no houses. Like that's just different for me, you know? Something to like get used to. If you're used to just seeing so much green, you're not gonna see a lot of green, babe. And the highways have like 6 lanes. 6 lanes. Baby, I'm used to 4, 3. It's a little overwhelming for people who aren't like comfortable on the road or like not really in tune with driving. I'm very in tune with driving, so it was just weird. Those overpasses that go in the sky. Baby, one thing about me, I don't play with heights. Put me on the ground. 2 feet on the ground at all times. I do not play with heights. I do not like anything in the air. That's why your girls not like roller coasters, none of that stuff. But they have those huge overpasses that wrap around and you gotta merge, and it wasn't kind of for me. I'm not scared driving, but like I was getting a little anxiety on those huge overpasses because like I said, put me on the ground, babe. Put me on the ground. I don't want to be in the sky. I don't want to, I didn't like it. And then another thing with commuting and travel is the tolls. Baby, you need to get yourself a Texas toll tag. That was where I messed up. I did not get myself a Texas toll tag. I would just be like, oh, I'm gonna pay the fine. I'm gonna pay the toll. I'm gonna pay the toll. But baby, up here, the Easy Pass be saving my life. Go through Easy Pass, go through Easy Pass, go through Easy Pass, go through Easy Pass, go through Easy Pass. Okay? Easy Pass, don't gotta worry about it. Texas toll, no toll, you gotta worry about it. Because one thing about the tolls is, baby, they add up. They add up. They add up. And one thing about me, I'm gonna handle things very, very, very last minute. Like I would just see it racking up and I'd be like, I'll get to it. 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 Hold on. I'll get to it. Maybe I did not get to it ever. And one thing about those tolls, you know how tolls, if you don't pay them, they just keep accruing fees. So you could see the sign, and this was where my fault was. You see the sign and it'd be like 20 cents, 60 cents. Oh, That's light. Oh, that's not bad. At the end of the day, I only gotta pay like $1 today. $1 for my commute. Baby, if you don't pay when you get that bill, or you don't log in to pay, baby, that $1 gonna somehow turn into 200. like from my I don't even want to share with y'all the amount. Lord, okay, just know, if you do plan on living in Dallas, invest in a Texas toll. Like, I saw lots of videos also saying invest in Texas toll, and I said, okay, yeah, whatever. Baby, invest in a Texas toll. You're gonna save so much money, or at least be on top of it when you go through the tolls. If you don't want to go through the tolls at all, you can go around and use other routes, which is also another thing. But commuting through Dallas is, people say the traffic is crazy, but being from New York, you're used to traffic, so the traffic wasn't really something I minded. But being from somewhere where there's not a lot of traffic, I can see why Dallas traffic can be, oh my God, so overwhelming, because it can sometimes take you like 30-45 minutes to get to the city or out of the city. So using those back roads instead of tolls can take even longer. So really, you got to plan out your commute time, plan out what you want to do. You just had to learn, you know, 4 to 7, 4 to 6 is like the big traffic hours, and then like 7 to 9 is the big traffic hours, because people are going to work and people are leaving work. If traffic is something you're not used to, there is traffic in Dallas, okay? There is traffic in Dallas, especially when you're going into Dallas or heading up north to like McKinney, Plano, anything like that. Now let's talk weather. Honestly, one of the main reasons why I wanted to move to Dallas was for the weather. Like, I'm tired of the cold, and I wanted a place that was just hot all year round. And my experience with the weather there during my time, it was nice. I got there in April, so it was considerably it was like warm. So I was there from April, and then like May it started getting hot, June was hot. Like, it was nice. I really did like it. And the winter isn't really winter. It gets cold, but not like snowing cold. Like, it gets a little chilly, throw on a little hoodie, you're cool, but it's not ever snowing. Besides that one time where it snowed in Dallas or whatever, I wasn't there for that. Besides that, I think the weather is pretty cool. I know now that since I left, there's been a lot of like storms, especially in like Houston. A lot of storms, and I'm happy I missed that. But I know that Texas and down south is known for their storms and tornadoes, I think it was. Maybe it wasn't tornadoes. It was some type of hurricane. I don't know. Something like that. But I know Houston got it bad. Also, the commute from Dallas to Houston, I think, is 3 to 4 hours. So, like, one major city to another major city, it's like, okay, yeah, Houston's close, but it's like not super close, but like still kind of close. Let's talk about city life. So I'm going to compare this to New York, because every time I think of a city, I think of just liveliness. But I've come to realize that cities aren't like New York City. Like, the city never sleeps. In Dallas, the city sleeps. I just feel like every state I visited, like Houston and stuff like that, like the city, like Dallas, the city, Houston, the city, it's really just business. And once business is over, the city's completely shut down. Like, you don't really see people walking on the streets like that. Like New York, you can go down any street, any road, you're always going to see somebody walking. Like Dallas, you can go down certain streets, you'll see some people, but it's not like a walking city. People don't walk around in Dallas. And that's what I realized too when I went to Houston and I was walking. I was like, dang, I'm the only one walking. Another thing to keep in mind with this city lifestyle, there are a lot of homeless people. And this is something that I really didn't know about until like living in the actual city. This is something I witnessed. Of course, there's like homeless people everywhere, of course. But like, I felt like it was just a lot more in your face and prevalent at night in Dallas. Like at night and sometimes during the day, but like at night it was just like in your face. That's going to lead me to my apartment, but I'll get to that in a second. As soon as the business time was over, it just felt like the whole city was just, it was a lot of homeless people out. And sometimes that's a little like scary, because I feel like that's why a lot of people don't really walk the streets and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of homeless, like a lot of people outside sleeping and stuff like that. So that's something you need to get used to, especially if you plan on moving to Dallas in the city. The city does have a lot of homeless. So that's going to segue me into my, and I don't want anyone to take offense to that. It's just, I'm just speaking like truth. Like, there are a lot of homeless people in Dallas, like a lot. And I know there's a lot of homeless everywhere, and like oh, well, there's homeless people in New York. Yeah, but it's like, there's homeless people in New York, but it's not so much in your face. Because I feel like the people walking, it kind of negates all that. Like, yeah, you have people that are homeless, but it's like, you don't have interactions with them. And in my opinion, okay, that's just my opinion. Segue into my apartment complex, which I highly do not recommend. Like, everyone kept commenting, like, because I posted my little TikTok with the stereos. Just one thing I wish I would have done was actually take my time with looking for apartments. One thing about me, I'm very sporadic, very quick, very split decision. And it was like, I viewed a lot. I viewed 3 apartments prior to the apartment I ended up choosing. And they were 10 times nicer, had 10 times better amenities, or was such a better price. But I was like so stuck on needing a 2-bedroom. Like, I wish I wasn't so hard-headed and stuck on that, because I could have enjoyed my stay more if I would have had a better apartment. Because I kind of just walked into my apartment and was like, oh yeah, this is the one. It has 2 bedrooms, and then the windows, like, it wasn't even really something that I truly wanted. On my dream list, and I even talked about in my high-rise tour, how I wanted a balcony. Like, that was my main checklist item. Like, if I don't get anything, I'm getting a balcony. Why in the world did I get the one apartment I viewed that didn't have a balcony? Because it was a 2-bedroom. And I just felt so claustrophobic in that space. Like, it wasn't even, like, cool. And the price I was paying, y'all, the price I was paying for the complex itself was ridiculous. So I was in a 2-bed, 2-bath, and I was paying three something. And when I look back, I'm like, I could have saved so much money, A. B, I could have been in such a nicer apartment complex with actual amenities that I would use, because I have a dog, of course, and a lot of the apartments I viewed had pet spas. You can wash your pet, and that's something I really needed for my dog, like a pet station, because I watched my dog on my own, and it was just annoying, like, going out to do it when I could literally do it in the comfort of my apartment. And one of the apartments I viewed, they had free breakfast Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Like, the amenities were amenity. The pool was nice, rooftop pool, floor-to-ceiling windows, balconies, like, everything that was on my list. Me just being so quick to make decisions, I was like, oh, this one, because it's a 2-bedroom. I don't even need a view anymore. Like, I viewed all those apartments on a Friday that I landed, and I had apartments scheduled to view Saturday and Sunday. I didn't even go because I was so locked in on that one apartment. I didn't even view the other apartments I had planned to view, and I'm so upset with myself, but it's okay. You know, everything happens for a reason, and, you know, I'm here to tell you guys now that, like, don't be so quick with making decisions and making moves. Like, see every possible option before you just put all your eggs in one basket. Because if that was one thing I would say, like, I don't really regret stuff, and I really don't regret that either, but, like, if I can go back and, like, start over again my apartment looking process for Dallas, I definitely would have taken all the time I needed and not rushed into it. And I felt like I need to rush into it because when I viewed the apartment, the lady was like, oh yeah, this is the last 2-bedroom and we rarely get them. And I'm like, oh, I need to put my stuff in. I need to put my stuff in. Like, the first place I viewed, like, they were all 1-bedrooms or like 1-bedrooms with a study, and I really wanted a 2-bedroom, which I honestly did not need. But back to my apartment complex and why I'm really not too fond of it. So when I went on the tour, I kind of was just blindsided and just loved the apartment. I wish I also walked around the building, like walked around and looked, because in front of my apartment complex, there's a park. And in that park, there's like swings and all that stuff. And they were saying that a lot of events happen in that park. Come to find out, that's a site for a lot of the homeless people. During the day, they sit all in the chairs. Like, the one day I went, it would look so perfect. Like, it was just really good. One day I go, it just looked like the best place to live. And then as the days followed, when I like moved in and everything, I still loved it. When my dog came and stuff, and I would walk my dog, I would feel kind of like I would have to really be on my P's and Q's. I'm always on my P's and Q's, but I have to super be on my P's and Q's because it's dark. There's people in the park wandering around, people in the park sleeping, people in the park, you know, doing drugs. And it's like, I wish I would have known that before I locked into this apartment. Like, the atmosphere around the apartment is not giving. Right behind it is train that runs in Dallas. Right behind it is the train that runs in Dallas. And then there's a lot of homeless people that stay over there. Then there's just a lot of people over there in general. And like, there's always police over there. And it's just like, where was all of this when I was viewing the apartment? Like, there's a 7-Eleven. There's a 7-Eleven over there also. And I think I went to 7-Eleven like twice. Like, it was just so dirty in there. Cause that's where a lot of the people would go to like just hang out and just sit around. When I first viewed it, it looked beautiful. Like, there was no complaints, nothing. But then all of a sudden when I'm living there, it's like all these things are coming. And the apartment itself shares a space with a commercial building. So it's like Greyhound and these other companies from floor 1 to 14. Then 15 to 30 was all residential. The building itself is not attractive looking. I don't know what made me say this is the one. The building itself is not attractive looking. The amenities, all you have is like a bar. I don't drink. So you have a bar, and then you have the pool, which the pool is not even like the pools I saw in the other complexes. Shitted on this pool. Shitted on this pool. This pool was sad. Like, it was sad. I don't know. Like, I keep telling, like, I look back and I'm like, what like attracted me to this apartment? Was it just because it was too bad? So the amenities were not amenity. There was no real amenities. They have this sky lounge that's indoor. Like, there's no balconies. There's no way outside. There's no fresh air. You can't open your windows. And the elevators never work. There's 3 elevators. On a good day, 1 elevator is working. Then there was at one point where none of the elevators were working. So you have your groceries, and I was on the 22nd floor. You gotta go up all those stairs to the 22nd floor, and hope that your floor door is not locked so that you can get inside the floor. It was just so many things that it was like, why am I paying this much money if the elevators don't work? Why am I paying this much money if y'all barely got amenities? Why am I paying this much money if I'm in the shower and I'm cleaning my shower? Y'all, I'm cleaning my shower one day, and like the molding around the tiles, it's peeling. It's peeling back, and there's black mold. Black mold in the lining of the shower. Black mold. Y'all, there's black mold in the lining of the shower. I said, not y'all didn't even like clean the showers. Y'all just, oh, let's put some grout over it. That's so nasty. It just wasn't giving. They don't ever answer their phone. But if y'all want to know the apartment name, it's 1 Dallas Center. I do not recommend living there, honestly. I really don't. There are a lot better options, honestly. A lot better options if you want to live in a city. Do not go there. Do not live there, please. I beg. I beg. Don't do it to yourself, please. Everyone has always been asking, what's the apartment name? What's the apartment name? Like, Bookie, you do not want to live there. Them speakers is not worth you paying $3,000 plus a month. Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Honestly, let's talk about my overall experience. If I were to go back to Dallas, I would definitely stay in the suburbs. I would definitely get a townhome, or I would definitely get a home, but I'm looking to build a home. So it would be one of those options. I would not get an apartment. If I got an apartment, it would definitely be out of the city, because it's just, the prices just don't make sense to the environment. It's just really not, it's really not it. Like, yes, you get the beautiful view. You can see the American Airlines Stadium. I can see the American Airlines Stadium from my apartment. But like, you go outside and it's just so dirty. Like, it just has to make sense. Like, it really just has to make sense. The city's not a city. No one's ever walking around. There's no like restaurants you can walk to. Everything is a commute. Everything you need to drive to. It's not really convenient. So I honestly would live in the suburbs, like Irvine. Is it Irving or Irvine? One of them. Plano, McKinney, like stuff like that. I just, it wasn't doing it for me. Also, another thing people don't know is Dallas and Fort Worth are two different cities, like totally different cities. It's like Dallas, Fort Worth, then you have Arlington, Grand Prairie, like all these different cities. I always thought Dallas and Fort Worth were together in the same, but they're not. Overall, I would definitely go back to Dallas, but I would definitely live in the suburbs, and I would definitely get a house or a townhome and just make more sense with your money. Like, it just makes more sense. An apartment doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't, because of the city itself. It's just not, it's not worth paying all that money for. You're just paying for the view at that point, you know? It's not really anything in the city to do besides, you know, go to Mavericks game. There's no restaurants. There's some restaurants in like Uptown, but overall my experience in Dallas wasn't bad. I did enjoy my time in Dallas. It was just little things, you know, like the toll tags, the parkways, the environment itself. Like when I drive, I like a scenic route. Like I don't like to just stare at bulletin boards. I don't. I'm just a New York girl. Like I feel like New York has everything. Like, you know, the price may not be the best, but like you can go to a beach, you can go shopping, you can go shopping, you can go to the beach, you can club if you wanted to, you can walk around the city, you can go shop. Like, and everything's fairly close. Like you can be in the city and you can walk, you can commute to things. Like there's always food to eat. Like I guess I wasn't expecting that in Dallas. I was just, you know, feeling the waters a little bit and just testing it out. So that was my experience. Let me know if y'all want some more in-depth details on some things. I kind of just try to do a quick overview on like the main topics big to me, and like, oh wow. I might do a part 2 if I really sit and ponder and think about some more things I want to talk about. I really wanted to focus on my apartment because that's what everybody has been bothering me about. I wouldn't even say bothering me. That's what everybody has been like asking me about. Like, oh my god, your apartment. Baby, if you really knew the truth about my apartment, you would not want to live there. You would not want to live there at all. I promise. Whew. And I just spilled the tea to y'all. Like, that apartment complex was not it. Not it at all. Like, I had to really sit and say, like, dang, I'm really throwing away $3K, 3 bands for this, 3 bands for this. And y'all keep talking about, oh my god, the speakers. I'm like, yo, I'm really throwing away 3 bands for this. Thank y'all for watching per usual. And make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure y'all turn your post notifications on so you don't miss out on a post when I post. Because your girl's back. We can't do these hiatus anymore. I'm back. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all so much. Bye, Bookies.